Hello fellow sim racers. Today's video is all about those racing series that, for one reason or another, aren't well represented in the sim racing world. With the announcement this week that GTR3 has an official tie-in with the World Endurance Championship, a number of people in the sim racing community have started to recognise that we may be entering an age where racing sims become more specialised. And this got me thinking, what series, and specifically eras within those series, would I want to see in either a standalone racing sim or as DLC for a game like Raceroom or RFactor? So this video is part wishlisting, part nostalgia fest, but mostly it's to open up a discussion in the comments about what we'd all like to see in a racing sim in the future. I don't want to completely hog the discussion, so I'm going to stick to 3 choices and try and make my case for each. So, to kick off the rose-tinted wishlisting, how about F1 from the early 80s? We have representations of the 60s, 70s and 90s F1 in various sims, but when it comes to the 80s, everybody concentrates on the turbo monsters that dominated later on in the decade. But the first 3 years of the 80s are, for me at least, just as interesting. Technologically speaking, the era saw the long-reigning Cosworth DFVs beginning to be challenged by the emerging forced induction technology. And from a driver's perspective, the rise of names like Prost and Piquet, Lauda's comeback, and luminaries such as Pironi, Villeneuve, Arnoux and Rosberg. I for one think this is one of the most interesting eras of single-seater racing, and would love to see it properly represented in a racing sim. Jumping forward a few years, I'd like to make a case for IMSA in the late 80s, and specifically, I think it would make a perfect Assetto Corsa mod. Now, we're lucky enough that this is an era of sports car racing that's relatively well catered for, particularly from a European perspective. But while a lot of effort is focused on the headline-grabbing Group C prototypes of the World Sports Car Championship, I think a lot of colour is being missed in the lack of cars representing lower classes, and particularly what was being raced in the US at the time. Let me try and make my case by listing the cars that were entered in the 1988 12 Hours of Sebring. The GTP class was contested by the enduringly popular Porsche 962s and Jaguar XJR9s, as well as prototypes from Lola, Spice, March, Phoenix and Tiger. Not bad. While the GTO and GTU classes saw RX-7s, Capris, Camaros, Firebirds, 325i's, Celicas and the once ubiquitous 911 Carrera RSRs. Now, tell me that's not a diverse field of interesting cars. And then there's the small matter of the venues. Daytona, Sebring, Road Atlanta, Summit Point, Lime Rock Park, Mid-Ohio, the Glen, Road America. I could keep going on, but you get the picture. For my last choice, let me make the case for some super touring action from the mid to late 90s. I think there are a number of sim racers out there that fondly recall playing the Toka games on the PlayStation, and I very much count myself as one of them. But it's probably fair to say that what was arguably the British Touring Car Championship's zenith isn't all that well represented in modern racing sims. You can get a flavour, albeit a DTM flavour, of what these cars are like with the Alfa, the Mercedes and BMW in Assetto Corsa, but this is merely a glimpse into what could be. Somebody give us a Laguna, a Mondeo, Cavalier and Accord, and of course the Volvo 850 to go with the Alfa and Bimmer, or my preference would actually be for Sector 3 Studios to take on the task, as they are the undisputed kings of touring car content. So that's probably enough wishlisting for now. Over to you guys. What racing series and eras do you want to see represented in sim racing? And to which titles do you think they would be best suited? I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then it would be great if you could hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. As always, thank you for donating your precious free time by watching. It is very much appreciated. So all that's left to say is goodbye, thank you for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.